Video, we're going to talk about how to convert from degrees to radians or from radians to degrees. But it all starts with this little simple equation. So in a full circle, in a full revolution, I should say, there's 360 degrees, right? Or you can measure that in radians. And in radians, there's 2 pi radians that make up a full circle. So remember, it's a radian is let the bell ring here. So in radians, it's the angle that's created where the radius is equal to the arc length. So supposedly there's 2 pi, or like 6.28 of those radians that make up a full revolution. So if that doesn't make any sense, it's okay. I mean, maybe one day it'll come to you, but applying this little formula is pretty easy. So what we're going to do is, first off, divide both sides by 2. So we get 180 degrees is equal to pi. And then we're going to divide either side by 180 or pi. So let me write 2 of these here. 180 is equal to pi. For this one, I'll divide both sides by pi. And so I'll get 180 over pi is equal to 1. All right. This side, I'll divide both sides by 180. So 180 divided by 180 is 1. And over here you get pi over 180. So they're the same formula. They both equal 1, except one's the reciprocal of the other. So you can use them interchangeably, but you have to use the right formula. You have to use the right factor depending on your situation. So in this one, we're going to convert 45 degrees into radians. So since we have 45 degrees, we want to cancel those degrees. So we need the 180 degrees in the bottom here and pi on top. So this thing is equal to 1. That's what it says here. That's why we're allowed to multiply by this. And it's just going to cancel those degrees out and leave it in terms of pi or radians. So you will just, you'll take 45 pi over 180, and then you'll simplify this the best you can. I'm just going to go over here using the calculator, and I'll do 45 over 180, just that, and that's going to give me 1/4. So 45 over 180 is equal to 1/4, and you have that pi. Or you could rewrite it as pi over 4. That's the most common way that they'll write it. Here we've got 260 degrees. Okay, we'll do 260 multiplied by the same factor here, pi over 180. So we want those degrees to cancel with each other. So we get 260 pi over 180. And this one's simple enough just to simplify without the calculator. The zeros cancel. Just divide both sides by 10. And then 26 and 18, you'll simplify those by 2. So we have 13 pi on top and 18 on the bottom. All right. Now, this is our answer in terms of pi. Depending on the scenario, they may want you to write your answer without pi. All you would do is just plug in 3.14 for pi. That's all you would do. All right. All right. Here we're converting from radians to degrees. So we're going to use the other conversion factor here. We're going to multiply by 180 over pi. And that way the radian part, the pi's will cancel. All right, so pi cancels with pi, and you're left with 7 times 180 over 4. You could simplify this the hard way, or throw it in the calculator here. 7 times 180 over 4. And that gives us 315 degrees. All right, we were left with degrees, 180 degrees on top here. So 315 degrees. I'll do another one here. 3 pi over 7. We'll multiply that by 180 over pi. Our pi's can cancel. We'll be left with 3 times 180 on top and 7 on the bottom. All right, so 3 times 180, 7 on the bottom, and it gives us our answer as a fraction. Typically, you'll want this as a decimal, so just do 540 divided by 7, and this gives us 77.14 degrees. 14 degrees. All right. And most people aren't going to say 540 over 7 degrees. They're going to say the answer as a decimal. All right, the last one is probably the strangest. Instead of the radians being in terms of pi, you can also express radians just as regular numbers, so without the pi. So unfortunately, the pi's won't cancel like they did before. So you'll do the same thing. Since you're converting from radians to degrees, you're going to multiply the 4 by 180 over pi. All right, so the 4 radians, the radians part cancels with the pi part, the radians part down here. So you're just left with 4 times 180 over pi. I'm sorry, the pi's itself don't cancel. It's just the radians word. The word radians, I guess, is what cancels. And then you'll simplify this, or you'll convert it to a decimal, I should say. So 4 times 180. We want to divide that by pi. Pi is right here on your calculator. So it'll be second in that one. And it gives us 229.18 degrees. 0.18 degrees. Yeah, that's probably the weirdest scenario, is knowing when when the pi's cancel and when they don't. But because the thing they gave us didn't have pi, I didn't put pi down here. I guess that's as simple as I can think of it. All right, I hope that helps you a little. Got one more video coming.